took a last-minute trip to Miami, I believe, and ended up getting fined.
It was at the best time. Got to Miami airport on the way back. Flight's delayed. But I trained at 10.
Right.
Messaged the club and said, going to be late, blah, blah. We got there, 12 p.m. It was. They'd finished training, walking in. Paul Lambert was laughing. He's gone, it's going to cost you.
I wanted to ask about 2016,
Yes.
which probably wasn't your best year. You were suspended by Villa that year, and the reasons given was, I believe, for smoking laughing gas and a shisha pipe. Is that
not
what actually
smoking
happened?
laughing gas, balloons,
yeah.
balloons, inhaling balloons.
Smoking a shisha pipe and yeah.
You know what it was? That was during that season. It was like, honestly, for 3-4 seasons before, we were losing. But basically, all my Villa career, we lost our best players every season.
Okay.
We lost Gareth Barry first. It was Milner. It was Young. It was Benteke. It was Delph. And certain enough, we come to a stage where the owner, Randy Lerner, just went and brought loads of players from the French league. We had loads. And they've gone on to be amazing players. Jordan Veretout, Jordan Ayew, Idrissa Gueye. But at that time, it was like, boom, Premier League.
Okay.
So it didn't work that season. The French lads and English lads weren't clicking. You know, it was a bit separated. The French lads were speaking French. It was like in the change room. It was a bit of not a very good atmosphere at the club. And the manager, Remy Garde, not a good manager. He was very negative. And when you keep sending your best players, the inevitable will happen. Happened to Sunderland, Southampton, saying all their best players. It comes to the stage where, you know, it never was going to happen. But that season was tough. Tim Sherwood was done a great job. I love Tim Sherwood. I feel like he should have got the chance to stay on. Then I went and brought Remy Garde and didn't work. And all that stress of like fighting relegation. I had some problems off the field as well with personal reasons, with like an ex-girlfriend. And that stress was like, when we were given time off, I went to Dubai. And should I went to Dubai when we were fighting a relegation battle? No, of course. But I went to Dubai, went partying, because some people deal with stressful things and disappointments a different way. Some people go and sit in their room and be angry. I would party when I was angry. I'd party when I was happy. So even when I was going through a bad time, to forget about it and take your mind off it, it was going to have a party. So I went to Dubai. I remember, I think it was Blue Marlin in Abu Dhabi, I think it is, like a beach club, and just smoking a shisha pipe, which was like everyone was doing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not a banned substance.
Yeah.
So because we're meant to be role models, which we did the sign up for, we have to be role models. I think at that time it was like, oh, you can't be smoking shisha. But there's nothing in your contract that says you can't smoke shisha. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think few players have been caught doing it afterwards as well. And then that was suspended. I think I got suspended for that and in trouble with that. Then the one afterwards was we'd been relegated, like it'd been official with the amount of points that we'd got. I wasn't really involved at that stage. You know, I wasn't getting in the team, not involved. And then just to get my mind off it, it was like I went to Mayfair Hotel and got the penthouse at the Mayfair Hotel and had a party with friends, people in there. Sort of like, was it the right thing to do when you look back? No, not at all, of course. But me being annoyed that the club had been relegated, that was my escape.
Yeah.
It was like party, take your mind off it, get drunk, drink tequila, inhale balloons. Balloons were very popular then. You know, players were doing them in every football club, in the nightclubs. You'd be hiding in the corner, inhaling a balloon. It was sort of the trend for everyone back then. When you look back now, I'm like, people have died with like brain issues off them balloons because you're inhaling and it's stopping the oxygen going to your brain. Oh, okay. So very dangerous. But at that time, you're a bit sheepish. You're doing what others are doing. I remember I actually got caught because my friend posted a picture of me and me trying to take my friend's belt off with a balloon in my mouth.
Right, okay.
And he posted that on his private Instagram with 200 followers. So someone screenshot it, sent it to the papers, sold it to them. And I woke up the next morning and I'm like, phone call off the club. I'm like, oh, how? No one's taking pictures. No one's videoing. I'm like, oh God, here we go. See, like, you know what I mean? It's not that you don't care. It's just that, like, that moment, it's like, that was my escape. That summer, it was good to get away, go and take your mind off it, drink. So it was a horrible year, but I wanted to, you know, help the club get promoted again.
You mentioned during that time going through some personal difficulties. Are you able to share what those were?
So during that time, I was having problems with my ex-girlfriend. It was like really off the field problems where I remember Tim Sherwood saying to me, like, because I was in the paper, the front page of the Sun.
Yeah.
And I think it was 3 days in a row. Okay. And I remember everyone was messaging me saying, I'm on the way to the trains. You're on the front page of the paper. And I'm like, me, Gabby from Erdington, Birmingham, on the front page of the paper because my ex-girlfriend had found out that I was having a baby with another girl. Do you know what I mean? That was the reason I was on the front page. And I'm
that
just
was
like,
what did it? Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like, do you know what I mean? So like that was stressed out. There's nothing worse when you get that phone call off the club press officer at 11 p.m. on the night before the story is coming out. Is it? Yeah, you're like, oh. And he's like, it's going to be online in a couple of hours and it's coming out in the papers in the morning. And like that feeling you can't describe.
I'm just going to pause for a second because I'm very proud to announce that this show has its first sponsor, and it's a good one. It's NordVPN. As the owner of a marketing agency that operates online, it's really important for me and my team to stay protected with whatever we're doing online. And that's why NordVPN is essential to the operation of my business. Now, if you're a massive football fan like me, you can't watch every game because of the ridiculous 3 p.m. blackout, but you can if you use NordVPN. You can change your virtual location to another country where that game is actually being played. You can also watch games when you're abroad. NordVPN is also the fastest VPN, so no buffering, lagging, slowing your internet down. To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/Ben Heath. Our link will also give you 4 extra months on a 2-year plan. There's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the description below. Go ahead and check it out.
Partying all the time, 2 days a week from 19 to like 24, then you calm down to 1 day a week. Summers were crazy. Vegas twice in the summer, Miami. So like, because social media started coming out, that was where you were getting caught. Camera phones were getting better. So my early years, I got away with it, but then it caught up with me in my later years, 2015, 16, because better cameras, getting pictures of you. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking at the picture of me smoking shisha. I'm thinking like, it's come from behind me.
Right.
Someone's on the table behind me. I've got a hat on as well, sunglasses. Think I'm disguised.
Yeah.
And they've got the picture. I'm like, what? And it was funny because that same story of the Dubai trip, there was a picture, a video of me and Fraser Campbell dancing.
Okay.
So me and Fraser Campbell were actually in the club having a right dance off. You know, having a time of your life. Yeah. I remember the pictures like me with a bottle of Patron and my hat on backwards with a shirt. And I'm thinking like, where I was standing, that picture's will only be able to come from like the tables that were up at the top. That someone zoomed in,
right, okay,
and took a picture and thought, we sent it to the papers. That's the life you live as a footballer. I'm thinking I'm in Dubai. I mean, no one cares about me in Dubai. Like, you know what I mean, I'm not in Birmingham city centre. But when I look back, regrets of course. But I feel like if you turn the career around, and I've done that stuff at the start, and I finished off with the 4 or 5 years I started with, it'd be a different story. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that partying impacted your career negatively at all?
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. You know, I look now and I'm like, you've got Ashley Young, older than me, still playing in the Premier League. You've got James Milner, still playing in the Premier League. So I do look back at that and I feel like I could have played longer, but I was what I was.
Are there any players acting like you did at the beginning of your career, going out partying, or is that just a thing of the past now?
It's definitely a thing of the past. You know, I honestly, like, now I don't hear of, I've got friends in London, Manchester, players don't really go out anymore. I feel like camera phones now, they get you from a different room. Never mind. They're through a wall, yeah. Social media now, so many games. especially teams in Europe.
Yeah.
Seven Premier League teams in Europe. You're playing so much. I mean, the Villa players, don't hear of any of them going out. They've always got their girlfriends, or they're very relaxed and family men. I think it's definitely a thing of the past. We were going out. We'd go to a club called Funky Buddha in London, Mayfair, opposite the Mayfair Hotel. And you see everyone in there. Every
players.
club from Manchester, Newcastle, travelled down. It was like party time. Then Wednesdays was a club called Movida for players that were off on a Thursday. I mean, John Carew took me there my first time. We had a great time. It was just a way. You know, you'd go through different clubs to get out a different exit to avoid the paparazzi.
Okay.
I remember a club where we went through a kitchen, out some long corridor, and went up on the other side of London because the paps didn't know that exit, so they're waiting for you at the front to catch you. Right. Do you know what I mean? So all these things were happening as players, but that was the norm. After a game, it was like, okay, where's the party at?
You took a last-minute trip to Miami, I believe, and ended up getting fined on the way home because your flight was delayed.
No. Because when I didn't get up for that squad, into that squad, I just went back to Villa. The Miami one where I was late was I wasn't in England set up then. That was
those are two separate things.
Yeah, that was 2014. Was it 2013? I think 14 under Paul Lambert. So every international break, you get 3-4 days off.
Yeah.
Do you know the players go and do what you want to do? Lambert was like, tell us last minute so you couldn't book stuff. So anyway, like, I was really obsessed with Miami then. I'd done the Vegas about 20 times. I was like, Miami, beach. So I found flights. Me and a new player who had joined from League 2, actually. So he's come from League 2, Premier League. Like, took him under my wing. Anyway, we flew to Miami, British Airways, at the best time. Got to Miami Airport on the way back. Your flight's delayed. I was like, no. What? No. What do you mean delayed? But because it was such a short amount of time off, the flight was meant to land at 6 a.m. at Heathrow. I had training at 10.
Right.
But I could time it. Do you know what I mean? It would work. It's not a problem. Land at 6, in the car at 7:15.
Eye drops in the eyes.
Hour and 30 from Heathrow. I've got plenty of time. I've got 2 hours spare. So I'm thinking, this is not a problem. Like, you wouldn't do much on the first day anyway. Anyway, flight delayed 4 hours. So we're both sitting there. He's shitting himself. I'm not that bothered. Do you know what I mean? I'm a senior player. I know that, like, I'll be all right. And he's like, what should I say? Like, what excuse should I say? Should I say this? Should I say that? I'm like, no, don't make no ridiculous lies. Like, your bloody, do you know what I mean? Grandparents are like on death row. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then we land and message the club and say, going to be late, blah, blah, blah. We got there and 12 p.m. it was. They'd finished training, walking in. And like, I'm just like, Paul Lambert was laughing. He's gone, it's going to cost you. And he fined me lumps. He fined me 10,000 cash and 10,000 at my wages.
Really?
Yeah. But it wasn't a problem. I trained the next day. It was fine. He wasn't angry. He was laughing.
Like, this is the
consequence.
consequence.
Like, yeah, it's going to cost you. Do you know what I mean? Like, that money can be given back to the players for nights out or dinners and a bit to charity. But it was like the other player, I was finding it funny because he was so nervous. Come from League 2 to the Premier League. What are you doing in Miami? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Should we train extra? You weren't a starter. But we got to the Heathrow. You just know when you're late. Yeah. And there's no point rushing. You're not making it. I think we landed at like 9:30 when training was like meant to be in. But that was crazy times. Crazy times. There was once as well we went to I went to basically European Championships the summer, so I didn't have much time off. And I asked Martin O'Neill if I could have some extra time off. The first international break, it was in end of August. He's gone, yes, have a week off. So I went to Vegas. So there's
recurring theme.
Yeah, so like I was obsessed with Vegas, so I didn't get to go in the summer. He gave me a week off, so I flew to Vegas for 5 days. And because I was young, when I got back, I was fine. Yeah. I was playing well, I was fine. Do you know what I mean? It didn't affect me, but if I'd done that 10 years later, like, you're gone, you had a jet lag. Yeah. But the players couldn't believe it. They were like, I was 21, I'm in Vegas, like in international break. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's more relaxed now as well with like the top teams. when they're giving time off, I don't think the manager cares.
Yeah, you hear a lot of players
Sancho
go,
in New York at a fashion show, like, if you got the time off, do what you want. Just make sure this day you're back in, you're training properly. Yeah. But it was crazy back then.
If you enjoyed this and you want to watch my full interview with Gabby Agbonlahor, you can do so right here.